You guys, man, get on that Sumatran train. Hey. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel, man. I'm Matt, and you're in the lab. Hey, if this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. I think that's awesome. If this is your, umpteenth time, man, again, thank you so much. That means the world. And if you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button, the post notification bell, so you know every time we upload one of these. It's been a minute. I feel like it has anyway. Since we uploaded a video, and I wanted to kind of apologize about that. I didn't mean to stop or leave anybody hanging or anything like that. It's really easy to get caught up in your head with all the shit that's going on in the world, and things are just busy, and man, I apologize. There's been so many of you that have reached out to me, and that means so much to me. Getting those messages and things like, especially when people reach out about, the whole sobriety thing. I think that's pretty cool, man. I'm glad that. Whatever, dude. I think it's crazy, but keep reaching out, man. That kind of keeps me going, in all honesty, because there's numerous times where I'm like, you know what? And anybody that knows me can ask. There's been numerous times where I'm like, this fucking sucks. I convince myself that it's pointless, and I'm not heeding my own advice. I'm not keeping my PMA, and I'm admittedly saying it. So I gotta work on that, but such is life. It's hard sometimes, but all we can do is keep going, man. We can't give in, and you can't buckle. So I wanted to talk about something that has become near and dear to my heart. I have been putting it out there every chance I can get. And that is Sumatran short-tail pythons. Python Curtus. It started with Mallory. She's our T-positive python brungers, my red blood python. You guys, if you've been on the channel a while, then you've seen the video. We did a video just for Mal. Months ago. She came from Tony Jones, Richard Jones Reptiles, the same person we got the VPI Matrix adult female from. Tony is just amazing. He's great people. I'm very lucky to have such amazing people in my corner when it comes to the short tails. And I don't know how I lucked out with that, but man, I have been so lucky with the people, A, that have sold me animals, B, that just trusted me with information and was like, let me help you kind of steer. Now, first and foremost, I want to put it out there that I am learning from the ground up, one thing that really fucking bugs me is people that just like, you've been doing something a very short amount of time, and all of a sudden you know everything the fuck about it, and that's not how it is. So I just want to flat out say from the get-go that maybe there's so much that I have to learn. And one good thing that a buddy of mine, Mick Bodie, he actually sold us some Borneos. Oh, Brian Cusco would say I have a short tail problem, and I may have a short tail problem, but my retort is that I can feed them and house them. So is that a problem, or is that more pets? I mean, they're pets, you know, whatever. They, for some reason, man, I mean, you'll see when I pull them out, they have taken my heart. So what we're going to talk about today, again, is Python Curtus, Sumatran short-tailed pythons. We have a specific line of orange-head Sumatran short-tailed python from Ryan Boyd. Let me first and foremost pause right here and say how thankful I am for Ryan Boyd. I just kind of stumbled upon Ryan. You know, I made my mind up that I wanted to buy some short tails past Mal, you know, and so I was just in the Blood Pythons group, and this is all led to me through Brad Morrison of Two Valhalla Reptiles. I'm very thankful for Brad, man. He kind of, oh, come check the group out, man, and you know, this and that. And I didn't know, I don't know why, I didn't think there was any Blood Python groups, but I just didn't look, you know. So it all happens for a reason, but I stumbled upon Ryan, and so for the first deal we did, we got the male, who has now been dubbed, because he's the only male right now, he is Prince Labu. Now, they are from, obviously, Sumatra, so, you know, I kind of wanted to kind of go with those type of names, but you'll see here in a second when we pull out the sisters that I didn't continue with that. But, so Labu is an orange head, again, Sumatran shorttail, but it's something that Ryan was working on that he kind of, he let us kind of in with him on it, and I'm sure there's multiple other people, but this is a stripe, if you will, a genetic stripe. Even though there is, you know, it's all polygenic, you know, like, so I don't want to say that and it technically be wrong, because as there aren't really morphs past chrome head, orange head, and the blacks. Technically, you can breed certain lines for certain things, and that's what I believe these to be. They are het for caramel albino, so that does play a little into it. So let's go ahead and look at Amina. Amina is also an orange head from Ryan. She is the female that has a little bit of size to her. She has recently had her first bowel movement here with us. So she has lost a little bit of weight, but as you can see, that stripe down her back, Ryan worked really hard for a lot of years to get these stripes in these Sumatrans like this. And if you can see her head, it's easy to see why I have fallen in love with these animals. And the good thing is, man, you know, that whole stigma of short tails and everything being aggressive and all that, man, Sumatrans are literally, for all the ball python people, if you're scared, I'm not saying you guys are scared, but I'm just saying, you know, they're babies. Now they can obviously have an attitude. They are snakes, obviously, but a fucking Cocker Spaniel can scar you too, you know, so. But this is our female. Again, she is the one that has a little bit of size to her. That nice ridge down her back. That is something that is very important that I have learned, is you want that nice ridge. Ryan, again, conditioned these animals before I even got them. So yeah, you'll see on the next line of adult female. Well, this isn't an adult. She's got some size to go, but she's got a good size to her. But you'll see on her head how her head is completely nice and orange. You see that? So we have another line of orange head from another breeder that wasn't Ryan, a very, very well-known breeder in the short tail world. He does some other things. Hand sanitizer, guys, very important. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you this female. Now, she does not necessarily have the polygenic breeding for the genetic stripe. And again, this is from a totally different line, and you'll be able to see what I mean. And you'll also be able to see how full she is because she hasn't pooped yet. And then anybody that doesn't know, short-tailed pythons only poop. Feels so funny saying poop, but they only poop about 4 or 5 times, maybe 6 times a year. But this is from Trace Harden. I think it's like Harden herpetologia, something like that. But this is from a Trace Harden production, and as you can see with her head, she has that nice cross on her head. Yeah, the female there didn't have that, if you'll remember. Whereas she does have a little bit of that striping on her back. It's not as solid, and I really wish Laboo was not in shed and I could show you him. But as you can see, man, these animals are absolutely beautiful, mesmerizingly beautiful. So let's look at some sisters. And one thing that I think it's very important to talk about when we're talking about any short-tailed python is and all my ball python people will feel this, man, you know, the feeding response. Oh my God, you guys. Well, there, check this out. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. They literally just, I mean, it's pow, pow. And that is why, before we pull the sisters out, that is why it's so important to see that ridge on their back. That ridge lets you know that they're not necessarily overweight, because it's very easy for them to get overweight. Again, they have such a slow metabolism. They only use the bathroom a couple times a year, you know. So let's look at some other ones. You guys want to? Let's look at the sisters. All right, guys, and here we are. So what we have here is 2 of the sisters. The third one is in shed, so I didn't really want to pull her out. But this is how I usually keep the girls. But these, again, came from Ryan Boyd. Beautiful, beautiful line. That nice orange head. They don't have it like the bigger girl where it's all orange, but it's still a beautiful, beautiful head. Nice graniting on the side. That's something else that I think, you know, we could work on, is breeding the most granity girls. I think that'll be nice. And I really love this stripe on the tail. I think that is amazing. Hand sanitizer. Each time, guys, each time. So, let's look at this one. Man, look at that stripe on the back. Is that not awesome, you guys? And again, these are from Ryan Boyd. You know, just amazing animals. And again, there's another sister over here to these. You know, they look pretty similar. One of them, I think this one here has the longer stripe on the tail, but you know, he's got some amazing animals, man. And like I said, guys, I mean, God, how could you not love this animal? That is absolutely beautiful. And I mean, you know, there's been multiple people that follow me on Instagram that have asked me, you know, oh, you know, I see you soaking your shorties all the time, and every time I change out this paper, I soak them. You know, I believe it's very important to keep them hydrated, keep them, you know, they require a lot more humidity than you know, a lot of other species, and that's something that a lot, you know, you have to take into account is what each species is going to require. God, you know, I mean, man, when Ryan offered to let me buy these, he sent me a picture of 4 of them. And I told him I wanted all of them. And then all of a sudden he was like, well, I'm keeping this one then. Because I bought every fucking thing he had, man. He offered it and I jumped on it. As you can see, this girl doesn't have as much graniting as that one does. So they're different. But they're all so beautiful. So the girls are just named 1, 2, and 3. They're, well, they've got... I'll probably give them other names, but right now they're just, you know, Curtus 1, 2, and 3, because that's a little easier. But I call them the 3 Fates. So, like I said, I didn't stick with the super Sumatran ass names. I kind of threw a little Nordic fairy tale, if you will, in there. But yeah, so. Again, guys, what I do is I keep them on craft paper. Something that I think is very, very important is doing research, and I can suggest a book. The name of the book is A Passionate Journey with Short-Tailed Pythons, I believe. Actually, I've got that book. Let me grab it. Alright, guys, so I really hope you enjoyed the 2 sisters. I would show you the 3rd one, but she's in shed. And so is Laboo. So, and quite honestly, Laboo is probably the most impressive, but he's in shed. Not that Amina wasn't. Amina's beautiful as well. But the book I was talking about was A Passionate Journey with Short-Tailed Pythons by Richard Crowley. Now, Richard Crowley is, you know, in my opinion, he signed it for me. That's kind of cool. I mean, man, the guy wrote the book on the shit. And what I think is really cool is it goes through everything. It goes through absolutely everything that you could really need. And another thing that's really cool about this book is that it pretty much tells you who to buy your animals from. And what's funny is that I forget exactly where it is in the book, but he mentions Ryan Boyd, and I was like, what the fuck? So it's perfect. We literally bought our animals from a guy that the author wrote about. Nick Bettini, we have some stuff from him. You know, I haven't bought anything from Matt Turner from Selective Origins, but I probably will. But yeah, man, Nick Bettini at Cold Blooded Earth, you know, he does a lot of everything really as well. We'll talk more about Nick in the next couple videos when we do one on the Red Bloods, okay? So, again, we'll talk more about this book maybe even, but I would highly suggest you guys reaching out to Richard Crowley on Facebook. They sell his books through Amazon. I got this, I think, really through him personally. You know, I would highly suggest anybody that wants to even think about getting into this, grabbing this book. Very, very important. Reach out to people in the Facebook groups. Reach out to people on Instagram. Whatever you feel like you need to do, grab that information, because those people will give it to you as long as they feel like you're serious about it. So, you know, as simple as possible, man. They literally piss so much. I mean, having them on Coco to me is astronomically ridiculous. Some people do it, but that just doesn't work for me. And part of keeping animals is learning what works for you in your specific place you're keeping them. You know, things are different for people that live in Oregon from people that live in Wisconsin, people that live in Tennessee from people that live in Florida even. You know, so I mean, everything's different. So you have to really learn what works for you. And what works for me is extremely cheap craft paper from Lowe's. I rip this up, I soak them every time. They get soaked literally probably 3 times a week, every one of them, because I have to change them out that much. They peel off, you know, maybe not 3 times a week. That's probably pretty overdoing it, but you know, a lot. They get changed out a lot. So, to end everything off, let's take a quick look at one of the most amazing animals that we have in the lab. Now, this is Morticia. And she is a black Sumatran shorttail, produced by April Hammock. You guys can check her out. She has all kinds. She just had a beautiful clutch, by the way. But yeah, this girl, oh god. You know, and they have them that are darker. She came from a chrome to a black pairing, so she is very, very dark, but she does have that, you know, chromish head. But they do, when you can get, and I'm on a couple lists for some, but when you can get a black to a black pairing, man, the babies are just dark as night. Which, she is very beautiful. In no way, shape, or form am I unsatisfied with this animal. She has a mate. She has Gomez, who is also a black Sumatran shorttail, Python Curtus. And these guys are just amazing, man. I mean, God, look at those eyes. You guys, I'm telling you, man, if you want the next level shit, you gotta get some Sumatrans, dude. Because they're just amazing animals. They're not, you know, little springs with teeth that everybody thinks and thought that, you know, short tails are anymore. That's really been bred out of them. These animals, I mean, are just absolutely breathtaking. So, get you some Sumatrans, man. That's really all I can say. So, if you're tired of fucking with ball pythons, hey, I mean, I'll always probably have a couple balls, you know. I'll always have a couple. Oh shit. So, sorry, I had the dad joke there, Anyway, I'll always breed ball pythons. You know, I have so much already at stake and invested. I mean, not that, oh, I'm invested. You know, whatever. But I mean, they're my animals. They're gonna be here, so you know, it's part of it, man. But falling in love with Sumatrans, and mainly, yeah, I'll say it, Sumatrans. Sumatrans are hands down my favorite short tail. And that's one reason why we're doing this video first. But, God, I could just get lost looking at them. You know, especially her, because she's just so beautiful. That head is amazing. I'm just so thankful for my Sumatrans, man. I think about them while I'm at work. I come home. I mean, as soon as I take care of the human family, these guys are next. I mean, because they do require that. They require, you know, you to check on them and make sure they're okay. Make sure their skin's looking good. I mean, the same things you would do for your, you know, your ball pythons, but you know, your ball pythons, you can just kind of throw on some Reptichip and they're good. These guys, it seems like they do require quite a bit more. But, so yeah, guys. Man, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was well overdue, but I wanted to make sure I had all the proper information, all my ducks in a row, before I sounded like a fucking idiot, because there's a lot of people who I really look up to that possibly could be watching this. You know, and I would hate to look like a fucking fool in front of those people. So, again, you guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Every one of those helps us out. Morticia says thank you. Ooh. God, you guys, man, get on that Sumatran train. Hey, PMA, I love you guys. Me and this girl are out. We're gonna feed some more snakes. Take it easy, guys.